You are watching Panblasts Operator Protection Training video. This is a supplementary video to the open blasting video, as blast operator protection is required for compressed air abrasive blasting operations, both in the open and in enclosed blast rooms. Let's recap and go over a typical compressed air open blasting equipment layout. Items 1 through 5 show the equipment required for compressed air blasting, which have been covered separately in the open blasting training video. A blast operator is wearing personal protective equipment to shield himself from the hazards of open blasting work. The protective blast suit, item number 6, gives the operator body protection from rebounding abrasive media and also prevents dust or abrasive ingress. On top of the protective blast suit, the blast operator is wearing a respirator blast helmet, item number 7, for facial protection against rebounding abrasive media and to also receive fresh breathing air supply. In addition, the respirator blast helmet also provides sound protection and keeps noise levels within the helmet to below 80 dBA. Clean breathing air is supplied by a separate breathing air compressor in blue, item number 8. Breathing air may also be supplied from the main air compressor, item number 1. If additional filtration equipment is installed to convert regular compressed air to breathing grade quality, the quality of breathing air is usually governed or regulated by local legislation. The clean breathing air is supplied via the blue supply line, item number 9, to the respirator airline filter, item number 10. The respirator airline filter's purpose is to remove odors and moisture from the breathing air before the filtered breathing air is supplied to the blast operator via the yellow respirator airline hose, item number 11. This hose is connected to an airflow controller mounted on the waist of the blasting operator, item number 12, which allows the operator to control the airflow and temperature of the breathing air supply. Finally, flow-controlled and temperature-adjusted breathing air is supplied to the helmet via a sound-deadening breathing tube, item number 13, which both delivers breathing air and suppresses noise level of the incoming air supply. Let's summarize what was covered in the previous slide into a list of equipment required for compressed air open blasting. Compressor, blast pots, blast hoses, couplings, and nozzle holders, blast nozzles, certified and non-certified operator protection, respirator airline filters. Panblast manufactures the entire range of required equipment for open blasting. We will now review the latter 2 categories in this video, as the first 4 categories have been covered separately in the open blasting training video. Operator protection and safety. In general terms, this encompasses protection for the blast operator from head to toe while conducting compressed air abrasive blasting. Let's address protection for each body part separately and go through each one in greater detail. Head protection, eye and face protection, ear and hearing protection, respiratory protection, body protection, hand protection, feet protection. Head protection would include protection from possible danger of head injury from impact, or from falling or flying objects, or from electrical shock and burns. OSHA, or other occupational health and safety authorities, would normally require protective helmets to meet standards such as American National Standards Institute, ANSI Z89.1-2009, American National Standard for Industrial Head Protection, or its equivalent. Such protective helmets, also referred to as hard hats, are commonly used in construction sites and industrial facilities as general protection against head injury. Blast helmets used for abrasive blasting, also known as supplied air respirators or respirator helmets, while also offering secondary protection against head injury, may not offer the same level of protection as hard hats unless the respirator helmet has been additionally certified to meet the same standards as protective helmets. Eye or face protection would include protection against eye or face hazards from flying particles, molten metal, liquid chemicals, acids or caustic liquids, chemical gases or vapors, or potentially injurious light radiation. OSHA or other occupational health and safety authorities would normally require safety goggles or face shields to meet standards such as ANSI Z87.1-2003, American National Standard Practice for Occupational and Educational Eye and Face Protection, or its equivalent. Certified supplied air respirator helmets generally offer the same level of eye or face protection as safety goggles or face shields against flying particle impact because abrasive blasting is deemed hazardous to both the eye and face of a blast operator. As such, the certification standards for supplied air respirators or respiratory protective devices designated for abrasive blasting use include particle impact tests to simulate abrasive media impingement. However, they may not have some secondary features of safety goggles such as anti-fogging or UV light protection. Ear or hearing protection is generally required when noise exposure exceeds 85 decibels on the A scale, dBA. Workers exposed to excessive noise must use appropriate PPE, including earplugs, earmuffs, or both to prevent hearing loss. Supplied air respirator helmets do not offer any ear or hearing protection against noise exposure. However, the certification standards for supplied air respirators or respiratory protective devices designated for abrasive blasting ensure that the use of certified supplied air respirator helmets do not add to the blast operator's noise exposure, i.e., not making matters worse, by requiring that noise levels within the helmet or respirator does not exceed 80 decibels on the A scale, dBA. It is important to note that compressed air abrasive blasting is generally a loud operation, so if the ambient noise in the work environment already exceeds 85 dBA, using the supplied air respirator helmet will not reduce the noise level inside the helmet to below 85 dBA. So the use of additional supplementary protection in the form of earplugs or earmuffs is necessary to prevent hearing loss. Respiratory protection is necessary when employees must work in environments with insufficient oxygen or where harmful dusts, fogs, smokes, mists, fumes, gases, vapors, or sprays are present. These health hazards may cause cancer, lung impairment, other diseases, or death. Supplied air respirator helmets are respiratory protective devices specifically designed to address the safety requirements unique to the abrasive blasting industry, although such types of respirators are also used in other industries such as coal mining. The primary function of a supplied air respirator is to deliver good quality breathing air at a comfortable temperature to the blasting operator who is working within a hazardous, dusty environment. Certification of the supplied air respirator to regulatory standards such as NIOSH 42 CFR 84, CE PPE Directive EN 14594, AS/NZ S1716, etc., will ensure that the operator is receiving adequate respiratory protection while performing abrasive blast cleaning. The secondary function of a supplied air respirator, such as head and face protection, have been previously described in the earlier slides. The requirements for such protection that are unique to the abrasive blasting industry are also covered in the certification standards. An additional secondary protection not previously described is the respirator cape, which fits over the upper body of the blast operator. This cape provides protection to the upper body of the blast operator from rebounding abrasive media. Operators wear personal protective equipment only for the parts of the body exposed to possible injury. Body protection includes laboratory coats, coveralls, vests, jackets, aprons, surgical gowns, and full-body suits. For the abrasive blasting industry, a full-body blast suit protects the blast operator from rebounding abrasives. The blast suit is made from a combination of tough industrial fabric and leather with sealing straps located at the wrist and ankle positions. Leather is an effective material for body protection against abrasive media impingement and is used extensively for the front part of the blast suit. The sealing straps are used to seal the blast suit openings and prevent ingress of abrasive and dust underneath the suit. Blasting gloves protect the blast operator from rebounding abrasives while still allowing the operator to perform ancillary work around the blast site. The blasting gloves are made from premium-grade cowhide, which offers both excellent grip and protection. Industrial safety shoes or boots offer excellent feet protection to the blast operator. The safety shoes or boots should have electrically conductive soles to prevent static buildup and a toe guard for additional protection. Let's move on and talk about breathing air supply to the blasting operator. All supplied air respirators, or SAR, require a source of good quality breathing air from a compressor or other compressed air source, such as high-pressure air cylinders or tanks. The quality of compressed breathing air supply is regulated and defined by national standards such as NIOSH Grade D, CE, PPE, Directive EN 12021, AS/NZS 1715, etc. Purpose-designed breathing air compressors are certified to deliver regulatory standards conforming breathing air. Standard industrial compressors do not supply compressed air which is breathing grade. Additional 3-stage air filtration equipment consisting of a micronic filter, a coalescing filter, and an activated carbon filter will convert standard grade compressed air to breathing grade compressed air. Now, let's switch gears for a minute and review Panblasts' range of certified supplied air respirators for the abrasive blasting industry. let's compare the features of the Titan II and Cosmo certified SAR helmets. Ergonomics and operator feel. The Titan II is comfortable with a close head and face fit from internal padding, similar to a motorcycle helmet, whereas the Cosmo has a loose and open feeling from the suspension harness, like a construction site hard hat. Visor shape. The Titan II has a curved visor, making it sit close to the face, allowing for a wide-open viewing feel. Whereas the Cosmo has a more restrictive vision from a box-type viewing window. Preference for either visor shape is down to the personal choice of the blast operator. Some prefer a wide vision so they can see the work surroundings, while others prefer a more narrow view so they can focus on the job at hand, following the blast nozzle and blasting the workpiece. Protective lens. The Titan II has a dual lens system, whereas the Cosmo has a triple lens system. With a dual lens system, the Titan II offers a wide panoramic view and optical clarity in conjunction with its wide visor because the operator only has to see through 2 layers of lenses. On the other hand, the Cosmo has a slightly lower cost of operation because the inner lens will last longer with the intermediate lens layer, giving additional protection from rebounding abrasives. All protective lenses will eventually get frosted during use and require regular replacement as part of abrasive blasting operation consumables. Insulation. The Titan II is well insulated from foam and padding, whereas the Cosmo is non-insulated with cheek padding only. Again, the choice of either is down to operator personal preference. In hot or warm climates, or when the use of earmuffs is preferred over earplugs, the Cosmo, with its lack of internal padding, will be a good choice. Visual flow indication. Both the Titan II and Cosmo have red-green visual confirmation of breathing air supply adequacy, in accordance to the standard breathing air delivery requirement of 170 to 425 liters per minute, 6 to 15 CFM, to the blast operator at all times. Titan II and Cosmo SAR, Table 3.2 in Operator's Manual. It is important to note that the operating parameters of the Titan II and Cosmo are different from one another, although they share common alternate flow controllers and breathing airline hoses. It is also absolutely critical that the operating parameters Table 3.2 of each SAR are followed strictly without exception. Running either SAR outside the parameters defined in Table 3.2 would mean either or both of the following hazardous conditions. Breathing airflow delivery is not within the standard requirement of 170 to 425 liters per minute, 6 to 15 CFM. Sound noise level has exceeded 80 dBA, also a violation of the standard requirements. Let's continue and review Panblasts' range of non-certified supplied air respirators. features of the Spartan and Galaxy non-certified SAR helmets. Ergonomics and operator feel. The Spartan has a semi-loose fit from foam head and cheek padding, in between the feeling of a full-face helmet and a hard hat, whereas the Galaxy has a loose and open feeling from the suspension harness, like a construction site hard hat. Visor shape. The Spartan has a curved visor, making it sit close to the face, allowing for a wide-open viewing field, whereas the Galaxy has a more restrictive vision from a box-type viewing window. Preference for either visor shape is down to the personal choice of the blast operator. Some prefer a wide vision so they can see the work surroundings, while others prefer a more narrow view so they can focus on the job at hand, following the blast nozzle and blasting the workpiece. Protective lens. The Spartan has a dual lens system, whereas the Galaxy has a triple lens system. With a dual lens system, the Spartan offers an overall better vision and optical clarity in conjunction with its wide visor because the operator only has to see through 2 layers of lenses. On the other hand, the Galaxy has a slightly lower cost of operation because the inner lens will last longer with the intermediate lens layer, giving additional protection from rebounding abrasives. All protective lenses will eventually get frosted during use and require regular replacement as part of abrasive blasting operation consumables. Insulation. The Spartan is semi-insulated from foam and padding, whereas the Galaxy is non-insulated with cheek padding only. Again, the choice of either is down to operator personal preference. In hot or warm climates, or when the use of earmuffs is preferred over earplugs, the Galaxy, with its lack of internal padding, will be a good choice. Let's compare the features of certified versus non-certified SAR. Noise levels. Certified SAR have noise levels not exceeding 80 dBA, with a crush and pull-resistant sound-deadening breathing tube, whereas non-certified SAR have unrestricted noise levels with a non-crush and non-pull-resistant sound-deadening breathing tube. It is strongly recommended that blast operators use additional earmuffs with non-certified SAR to prevent hearing loss. Earplugs are recommended for both certified and non-certified SAR when ambient noise levels exceed 85 dBA. Eye and face protection. Certified SAR have an inner lens conforming to EN 166-2001 particle impact test to give similar levels of impact protection as face shields or safety goggles. Non-certified SAR do not offer any eye or face impact protection, hence blast operators should also wear additional safety goggles underneath their blast helmets. Breathing air supply. Certified SAR deliver breathing air to the blast operator in accordance to flow rates required by international standards, whereas non-certified SAR breathing air is unregulated. Respirator airline hose. Certified SAR respirator airline hoses are third-party certified breathing hoses with food-grade internal lining with crush and pull resistance. Non-certified SAR respirator airline hoses are made from uncertified non-toxic plastic and without crush and pull resistance. Crush and pull resistance features are preventive in nature and can be helpful in avoiding accidents in the workplace. For example, pull resistance will prevent unintended accidental disconnection of the breathing air supply when the respirator airline hose is caught up with something while dragging it along the blasting work area. Crush resistance will prevent unintended blockage or stoppage of the breathing air supply. For example, when a forklift is driven over or parked on the respirator airline hose. Now let's continue by reviewing Panblasts' range of respirator airline filters. The respirator airline filter is a commonly misunderstood piece of equipment, even for those very experienced in the industry. It is considered a point of attachment for the supplied air respirator breathing airline hose. Because respiratory protective device certification standards cover devices downstream from the point of attachment, the respirator airline filter is not included in certification requirements. Therefore, it is acceptable to switch respirator airline filters amongst the various manufacturers or brands of respiratory PPE without affecting third-party certifications. Another common perception is that respirator airline filters are pressure vessels and require third-party certificates from a testing authority. Technically, respirator airline filters are pipes under 150 millimeters, 6 inches diameter operating under pressure, and hence are not required to be certified by external third parties according to pressure equipment directives. They do, however, need to be manufactured in accordance to ASME or other pressure pipe standards and self-certified by the manufacturer. Finally, the use of a respirator airline filter supplied with compressed air from a standard industrial compressor does not make the air breathing grade, nor does it remove carbon monoxide. However, carbon monoxide alarms can be fitted to respirator airline filters to provide early detection and alarm warnings on the presence of this colorless, odorless, and toxic gas in the breathing air supply to prevent injury or death to the operator. The respirator airline filter and breathing air supply. From an earlier slide, we recall that the SAR helmets must be supplied with breathing-grade quality air from a purpose-specific breathing air compressor or from a standard compressor fitted with a 3-stage filtration system to convert regular compressed air to breathing grade. The respirator airline filter can be considered similar to the active carbon or third stage of a commercial breathing air filtration system. To use the respirator airline filter with a standard industrial compressor, 2 additional pre-filter stages are required to ensure breathing-grade quality supply to the blast operator. Firstly, a micronic particulate filter, such as Panblasts micro mist filter, should be fitted as a first stage to remove oversized particulates from the compressed air. Secondly, a high-grade coalescing filter can be fitted as a second stage for the removal of fine liquid aerosols and droplets from the compressed air, preferably with an automatic drain feature. With these 2 pre-filter elements fitted, we have the equivalent of a commercial-grade 3-stage filtration system to convert regular compressed air to breathing-grade quality. Care must be taken not to have the compressor inlet located close to any potential source of carbon monoxide, such as automobile exhausts, as 3-stage filtration does not remove carbon monoxide. Now, let's review SAR Lighting, a very useful accessory to improve abrasive blasting visibility, the Aurora LED blast light. The externally mounted Aurora LED blast light is an excellent option for improving operator visibility during blasting. It does not negatively impact any third-party SAR certifications because no modifications are made to the original SAR respirator during installation of the Aurora kit. Therefore, it can be used with any brand of SAR helmet. It provides 1300 lux illumination and at least 20 hours of operation per battery charge, and features a convenient waist mount battery pack and pouch with independent battery charger. Finally, let's go over some important points to note about operator protection. Use only certified PPE equipment whenever possible. It is illegal to use non-certified equipment in a lot of countries. Check with your local workplace health and safety authorities to be sure. When using non-certified PPE, use additional eye and hearing protection to reduce risk of operator injury. Using certified PPE airflow components with non-certified PPE does not give certified status to non-certified PPE. Never mix brands or types of certified PPE or their components. This voids the third-party certified status of the PPE and transfers the product liability of the certified PPE from the manufacturer and certifying body to the party mixing or changing components of the certified PPE. Additionally, as the PPE certification status has been voided by such action, this party may also be in violation of OSHA or other workplace health and safety legislations that require the use of certified PPE products in the workplace. Respirator airline filters are not part of certified PPE legislation and can be used freely across brands and manufacturers without restriction. This brings us to the end of this video. We hope you've enjoyed viewing it, and for those of you pursuing bronze or gold level certifications, we wish you the best of luck for the online test.